So, at the end of the Adler and Land dormitories joint class, Mash got his first gold coin. Then, forgetting the Lance's warning, he lost his way and walked right into the enemy's lair in Land's dormitory. When Mash entered Land's dormitory, the leader recognized Mash because he had gotten the gold coin his freshman year. Mash was asked why he wanted to be a divine visionary. Mash replied that he wanted to become a divine visionary in order to live in peace with his father. The leader did not accept this answer from Mash because divine hosts are sculptors who give shape to the world and are vessels of divine power. The leader did not see in Mash the potential and creator to be a divine conduction. The leader voiced his reason for becoming a divine conduction. He wants to return the world to its true form, because humanity has come to prosper because the strong have devoured and exploited the weak and taken everything from them. The leader did not like the fact that modern society protects the weak, preaches equality and calls for compassion. The leader believed that people run away from reality, closing their eyes to the obvious. People are wild animals by nature, and in a proper society the weak should serve the strong and those who are useless should be destroyed. Only the strongest have the rights to prosper. Such are the laws of nature. Mash did not understand anything of what the leader told him and thought that he had the same goal, to live a quiet and peaceful life. Lana's students thought Mash was stupid because he didn't understand what the leader was telling him about. He was willing to let Mash go on condition that he gave up his gold coin. Mash wanted to refuse, but the leader said he had no right to refuse and pulled a wooden puppet on him. Mash easily deflected the blow and suddenly the wooden puppet turned back into Silva. Then Mash was attacked by another puppet and he was surprised that the puppet was stronger than him. The puppet took Mash's gold coin and gave it to the leader. Then she threw Mash against the wall. The leader told Mash not to be upset and that his coin would go for a good cause. Mash said he underestimated his power and accidentally stepped on Silva. Mash picked up Silva and said he would take him to the doctor. The leader was surprised that Mash didn't want to return the coin. Mash said he knew how to prioritize and added that he would defeat him anyway. The leader and his team were amazed at Mash's self-confidence and suspected something was wrong. The leader noticed that his strongest puppet was missing a button. That button was in his hand. The girl couldn't believe what she saw. The reason was that when the doll was taking the coin from Mash, he bit off the button and spit it out. In flight, the button knocked the coin off and into the leader's hand, and Mash got the real coin back using his strong breath. The girl was confused, and the leader realized that Mash was not so stupid. Mash was glad that he had saved the gold coin and didn't understand why Silva was lying unconscious on the floor. When he woke up in the infirmary, Silva was surprised that he was human again. The last thing he remembered was being turned into a doll. He was surprised to see Mash, who was working out and yelling at him, because he was in the infirmary, not the gym. Then Silva found out that Mash had saved him and brought him to the infirmary. Silva didn't understand why Mash did that, since they were enemies. Mash said that one man's misfortune could get everyone in trouble and accidentally bit his tongue. Mash said goodbye to Silva and left the infirmary. Meanwhile, in Adler dormitory in room 302, Lance and Dot were arguing about something. Lance was picking on Dot's hair and Finn was yelling at them for breaking into his room. Dot told Lance he was pissing him off, gave him an obscene gesture and told him to leave the room. Dot can't stand a pretty boy like Lance. And Lance doesn't like assholes like Dot. They were about to fight, but Finn yelled at them and told them to fight outside. Suddenly Mash broke down the door when he came into the room and told the boys to fight outside because they might break something in the room, even though he had torn the door down himself. Dot gave Finn a present because he thought it was rude to come to the house empty-handed. Finn was pleasantly surprised that even though Dot acted like a bully, he was being polite. Finn read on the box that it was an herbal tea. Dot said that this tea had a yucky smell. Mash started eating a cream brownie and Lance said that it was not time to relax because they need to get another gold coin and they need to come up with a plan to do that. Suddenly Lemon came in and started screaming. She showed them the magical scales that counted in real time how many coins the dorms had collected. According to them at the moment Lan was in the lead by a large margin, and Adler had one coin that was earned by the Mash. This school year, the Lans had gotten especially aggressive and were taking coins from everyone else. The only ones who could stand up to them were the seniors from Adler, but they all left for internships. If they're not stopped, one of them will become the divine visionary. The guys in the Orca dorm can't stand up to them because they're busy researching. Dot fell in love with Lemon because she explained everything clearly. Lemon hoped Mash would help them and he agreed. Everyone was motivated to defeat Lan. Lance said that to accomplish his goal, he would have to remove the mediocrity from Lana, and Mash prepared his muscles for the fight. Mash had to clean up the owl huts. The principal decided that Mash should still be punished for beating up a student and a teacher. This punishment wasn't so cruel and it was more just for show. Mash wanted to get a jump on the cleanup while he was still motivated. Suddenly Lance came in and said he wanted to help with the cleanup because Lana hunted on Mash and Lance could protect him. Meanwhile, 2 students from Lana were looking for Mash to take the gold coin from him. One of them kept saying obvious things as if they were philosophically deep thoughts, and the other didn't like it. They were confident that they would easily get the coin. Meanwhile, Mash was cleaning the cabin, but the owls didn't like it and pecked his head. Suddenly Mash was attacked with a water spell and Lance was attacked with a huge shuriken. The guys from Adler introduced themselves. The huge one's name was Andrew and the other one was Shinri. They said that Lance and Mash were not worthy to become divine visionary and offered to fight for the right to take the coins. Mash couldn't swim, so he drowned. Andrew turned into a shark and went after Mash. Lance realized that his opponent was trying to appear smart, but he was actually stupid. Lance wanted to use gravity magic, but he saw his little sister and told him not to hurt the sweet and innocent owls, so he didn't use magic and dodged his opponent's attacks. Shinri decided to give a lecture that in nature only the strong have the right to live and the weak must die. Then Lance used magic and the shovel on the wall fell down. Because Lance had shown very weak magic at that moment, Shinri was sure of victory, but Lance dropped the shovel to tear the feed bag and lured the owls to one spot. Lance didn't attack because he was afraid to hurt the birds. Lance used his magic and defeated Shinri. Lance said that someone like Shinri who fights for himself can never compare to those who fight for others. Meanwhile, Andrew was sure he would beat Mash because Mash couldn't swim, but something swept past him very fast. Andrew doubted that it was Mash, because the maximum speed of a person in the water is 10 kilometers per hour. Mash was shocked that he could swim and thanked Andrew for revealing his hidden abilities. Mash swam too fast, so Andrew couldn't even see his silhouette and he felt like prey. He cast a spell and turned from a shark into a huge monster, but Mash easily took him out. So the Adler dormitory got a second gold coin. Lance also said that if they easily defeated those 2, then they could stop Lan. Suddenly, another of Lana's students appeared. Lance's magic didn't work on him, and Mash couldn't catch up with him. He took his companions and said he didn't want to fight yet and said goodbye to them. Lance took back his words and said that crushing Lan would not be easy.